Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris news. Disneyland Paris celebrated St. Patrick's Day with a performance by Irish group Bluish at Videopolis.
3 episodes of AP Showtime were recorded in the Studio Theatre this week.
New merchandise and magic shots have appeared to mark the release of Disney Pixar's Turning Red.
The 30th anniversary Loungefly has been released with a price tag of €100. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans. Thank you so much for welcoming. Thank you so much for being here. I would like to welcome you. I think that gush and that slipping over my own teeth just then was because we were just talking how quite humbled and overwhelmed we're feeling at the moment with the amount of new people getting the chat every week, the amount of feedback we get through other channels every week, the way that subscriber numbers are going up, the way that the listenership is going up on the podcast. And I said, do you know what? We're actually creating a bit of a community here, which is just lovely. And then Mark said to Jenny, who appears to be a new live show listener, saying, welcome to the Disney family. And I'm like, oh, we have family. You could make a Disney film out of this Disney podcast. Family? I know.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Wow.
Nuts. It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Absolutely nuts.
Now, a bit of housekeeping. Hugh and I are both in red in honour of Turning Red. If you just wondered that was a coincidence, it is not.
I'm in a red car.
Is in a red car, and also black like his heart.
The thing is, you won't want to know this because this is all, this is art effectively, and we're going to talk sport now for a second. But I'm a Leeds United fan, and so red is kind of a big no as far as I'm concerned. So I don't really own anything red. My wife has Sunderland shirts which are red and white. I could have worn one of those.
Does it hurt you?
It would have hurt a lot to wear a Sunderland shirt. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I understand a lot more now. I have got an uncle who you know very well who won't wear green on stage.
That's true.
He's a thespian and he won't wear green because it's bad luck.
Sunderland,
he won't wear
Wonderland.
green ever, will he?
No,
I don't think he'll wear green ever.
No. He'd be in a right state in this room here with our green screen. Not that you can see it, with our green screen behind us.
Just because it's
all I see
bad
is
luck.
the Disneyland Paris celebrations.
And my Mickey ears. I keep trying to lean into it, but I have to lean into it.
Oh, yeah, that's super. That's absolutely fab.
I said sorry at the top of the show because I was supposed to read out the fourth bit of news, but I was busy checking the sound on my phone.
But you get a total forgiveness because I gave you the Irish.
That's why I said sorry. Just randomly at the start of the show. Not just because we're that British that we have to apologise, just,
Oh, I apologise to furniture when I walk into it. I apologise that much.
But yeah, Bluish at the Videopolis.
We had to look that up beforehand, how to say that.
Lucy.
Okay. But I think you'll find it's pronounced Gluish.
Oh, Lucy.
I can't do the accent.
Apologies
Gluish
to all of Ireland.
All right, let's talk about that then. That's our segue to go straight. No, I should tell you what's on the rest of the show before I segue into that. Our mailbox is exploding.
It overfloweth.
It overfloweth with joy. Our cup overfloweth. And so we're going to spend a good portion of the show looking at your information and your feedback. And so this is for you. This is your show this week. And I in particular am very excited about that. We've got multimedia, everything. We've got videos people have sent us. We've got emails. We've got photos. It's exciting stuff. We are 60 days away from our Walt Disney World trip, and that means there was dining to be booked this morning.
To what?
To be booked? To be booked?
I went particularly
to be booked.
North Yorkshire then, didn't I? Booked. This morning, so I will have a brief chat about that. It's not exciting, but it's worth mentioning. It's all relative, as they would say.
It's all relative.
Do you know what I did today?
2 friends quotes so far. Yes.
I ran 10k today.
Oh yeah,
You
I ran 10k. I did
in
my second race
in under an hour.
In under an hour. Yeah.
What was your time, Chris?
58:52.
That is pretty
58:52,
impressive.
yeah. My legs are killing me.
Well done.
I was supposed to be training to join Chris in another 10K in May, but my body's saying, no, I don't think we're going to do that, pal.
My mind keeps telling me, yeah.
My mind's telling me no.
You see,
my femur's telling me no.
My body did that the second time I tried to do Run Disney. Because I did it in 2018, no problem. I had a whale of a time. Immediately signed up for 2019 and then didn't happen.
Wasn't working, was it?
No, I had to sell my bib.
Well, our mutual friend Brookie's signed up for Pontefract 10K now, which means that if you don't turn up, I've got someone to run with. And if you do turn up, I've got someone to run with.
You'll be the three caballeros if you all turn up. That's
Disney
the dream.
bound.
We
Nan
also
Ponty.
there was just one more thing on my what we're going to talk about today list is we've got a new Patreon who has asked for a shout out, and so Hugh is going to do that later in the show. But let me go into my segue with my terrible Irish accent about Gloush, and that is they did a show at Videopolis. They did a show at Videopolis, and it was like an Irish folk choir all dressed in green ethereal dresses,
nice.
swaying dreamily side to side. And they also had a hard shoe Irish troupe, very, very river dance. And it just looked fab. Other things around the park is I believe there was quite a lot going on the village after sundown, as 'twere, in terms of themed drinks and Irish music in Billy Bob's and the Sports Bar and things like that. But I didn't see any pictures, and I looked of the usual character outfits. Maybe I didn't see the pictures and they were there. I've no evidence they weren't there. I've just no evidence they were there. And I particularly like it when they can bring out Goofy all in his green leprechaun thing with his shamrock hat. So let me know if anybody saw that. Let me know if anybody saw it, because I couldn't find it.
I'm just laughing in the chat because Cheryl's saying to Claire, do you vlog, Claire? Which reminds me of that song, Do You Smoke, Paul? Do you remember that song?
No.
It was a sample from a comedy show with Marcus Brigstock saying, do you smoke, Paul? No one remembers that.
That's extremely obscure, Hugh.
99 or 2000s.
I'm glad that's amused you though, Hugh. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that the rest of it does have a mild drug reference, though. Maybe I'll leave it.
Yeah.
It can't be as bad as
It's a
some of
family
Lucy's
show.
blue on this show.
I always get called blue. I think that's misogyny. I think it's because it's a girl saying it. You two can be a little bit blue. Nobody notices.
I want to tell you now.
Go on then.
It goes, do you smoke, Paul? No, I don't. Do you smoke, Paul? No, I don't. And then he goes, don't smoke a cigarette. Don't smoke a cigar. Don't smoke a pipe. I don't smoke the reefer.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you not remember that? Anyone in the chat remember that song?
I'm really sorry, everybody.
I'm sorry too.
Yeah.
Can you do that again as Buzz Lightyear, please?
Yeah. Now in an Irish accent.
Anyway.
Right. Okay. So, on to the next bit of news. 3 episodes of AP Showtime were recorded in the Studio Theatre this week. This is the regular monthly... Stop distracting me. The regular monthly AP programme that we get in broadcast and get sent on email. But what I found worthy of note is that the audience members were asked to sign an NDA because of sensitive information.
Oh.
A frog just jumped in my throat.
I just thought you found that really upsetting. You were like...
Now, these are... They've filmed 3 in a row, and they will be released in monthly increments for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
So I'm rather interested. I don't know if that was standard for them to sign NDAs or whether there is something...
Massive chocolate bar. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, and this is pure speculation. Yes, massive chocolate bar is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Is that there might be an episode that goes, right, following the opening of Avengers Campus, we are going to do, and then it would give away the date or the timescale or whatever, and everyone would go, what? I'm wondering if it's something like that, but how exciting. What other sensitive information could it be?
A new phone cover.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a phone cover. It's a phone case.
Caitlin is boarding the plane to Paris now.
No, she isn't.
Get out of town and go to Paris.
Caitlin, how are you getting the Wi-Fi? How are you getting the Wi-Fi?
Shut the front door to the plane and enjoy your flight to Paris.
Caitlin, did you manage to to find some time to go to DLP in your trip? Because I know
She
you were
hasn't
looking
been-
for that.
She's getting on the plane now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no,
I'm
like,
talking in the
in
future.
her
Sorry, let me
schedule.
rephrase that, Caitlin, because it
Okay.
didn't make sense to Lucy. Have you managed to find time on the trip you're about to go on to go to DLP whilst you are in Paris?
Is it on the schedule?
God,
Is it on the schedule? Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
really sorry that I'm not clear.
No, you are now. You are now. You are now. I've got
DJ
you.
Decline, says the Dunn
So
family.
excited. But Caitlin, seriously, put your phone on airplane mode.
You don't want to listen
please.
to us.
I don't think that's a thing anymore. You don't need to do airplane
Is
mode.
it not?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
They don't
You don't even have
tell
to turn
you
them
about-
off these days, do you?
It
No.
doesn't make everyone's instruments whiz around.
I
does
did
it?
get annoyed. We once took a flight and they told me to turn my MP3 player off.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I suppose it can get radio. Maybe that would be.
Maybe
interference.
the music you were playing was just offending them. Don't know.
Oh, she's got one day in DLP.
There you go,
Caitlin has
perfect.
got one day in DLP. It's enough. It's not. It's adequate. One day is adequate. If you can, it's better to have one day in DLP than no days in DLP.
I think
will
what
give you
Lucy's
that.
trying to say is you should have tried harder.
Absolutely not.
Wedding. Why would you go to a wedding when there's DLP just round the corner?
Be efficient. See the dragon.
Yeah.
Any
Right.
more tips for one day? You've got one day in DLP, and you can give one tip to Caitlin now before I go on to the next bit of news.
Mango whip.
Mango whip. See the dragon.
Cafe de la Bruce.
Have fun.
Thank you, Chris.
Mango whip. See the dragon. What if she just does and has fun? What if she just does those three things?
You guys are done now.
Yeah, I had a
That's
mango
it,
whip.
done.
Who says you need more than one day?
Can anyone confirm that the mango whip is still alive?
Well, it's interesting you should say that because I know this will come up when I'm talking about audience things later on. But it's still alive when the shops open, I think is the answer. But then you kind of expect that, don't
Oh, Paris.
Mm.
Cheryl couldn't get a mango whip.
you? That's spoiler alert, Cheryl. Come on, give me a chance. Look. I've got
Okay.
paper.
Magical by
and
Sarah
everything.
is telling us the mango whip has gone.
No. Magical by Sarah, no. Please.
But I mean,
Don't toy with me.
the thing is, they've now got actual pineapple Dole whip, haven't they?
Yes, they do, yeah.
So maybe that is a contributing factor.
Knew they'd do this.
It's all right. You've
What they
still
do is
got your
they
child.
get you hooked on something, they get you hooked, and then they take it from you. And the same with John West and the spicy rice and jalapeno tuna. They took it from me, and I've had to fashion one out of tuna, a pot of tuna, some jalapeno peppers, and some separate bag of Uncle Ben's spicy rice.
But you like it, don't you?
I've had to, I love it.
Yeah, so get over it,
It's
okay?
actually nicer than the
Right.
the army.
Right. So there we
People
are.
ask me what it's been like with him working at home. I get updates on things like that on a daily basis.
And Lauren's also saying it's been replaced by a pineapple whip. I said this would happen. But mind you, I mean, the mango whip replaced the pineapple whip float originally.
It did, but it was
But,
pineapple
like,
whip, not Dole
Let's
whip,
just
wasn't
have both, guys. Let's just have both.
it? I mean, we may do in the future. I mean, look at Disney World now. They've got like 47 flavours of Dole whip.
I can make it though. We've had it here, haven't we?
It wasn't quite.
Yay now!
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was mangoey and ice creamy. That's all you need.
But I know ways you can improve it for next time we have it on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about that offline.
New merchandise and magic shots have appeared to mark the release of Disney Pixar's Turning Red. Now, to be specific, merchandise has appeared and has sold out in large quantities. So, I mean, we can imagine if you've seen the film, they had plush of the red panda. Now, regardless of your feelings about the film, one way or the other, plush of that red panda would just be heavenly, wouldn't it? It looked like the fluffiest, biggest, cuddliest, cutest thing.
Oh, you're just like Abby from Turning Red.
I am with a cute.
It's so furry.
It's so cute. I want to make my eyes do that big glassy round thing. You know, that so
Glisten.
cute. Yeah.
Manga style, anime style.
Absolutely. So they've gone. There's also
Anime.
like I can recreate it with this dressing gowns to turn you into a red panda.
There you go.
I might leave this up for a while. I quite like it.
You look very
maybe some
street.
things. But yes, they've sold out greatly, so hopefully they will get replenishing stock
Sold
soon.
out bigly.
They've also got a magic shot. Now I hope this these magic shots are catching on. And they're clearly quite cheap and they're brilliant for social media and stuff. As far as I'm taking it off now. As far as Disneyland Paris is concerned, they're cheap. But I hope it's not going to. It's a very quick fix, isn't it? I hope it's not going to replace them making that bit of extra effort with meet and greets and physical photo spots.
Well, it doesn't seem to
things.
have done, does it? It seems to be just another thing.
I'm not bothered about a magic shot.
No,
when I see someone share one, I don't go, "Oh wow!" I go, "Oh, you've had one of those done."
But the thing is,
you know
Hugh, you're a Photoshop ninja, and I'm not just saying that to big him up, people. That's what he does for a living, and he could put Mei Lee in the background of your photo shot in about 3 seconds, couldn't you, Hugh?
I've done it twice since you started speaking. With this hand that's hidden from the shot.
I don't want to know what you're doing with that hand.
Oh my word, where is this going?
So the magic shot can be found in the Toon Studio, which is that area opposite the Cars Route Rally.
Okay.
That next to Crush.
Yep.
It's basically a photo spot, that's all it is, isn't it? So it's in the Toon Studio there.
Cool.
Fantastic. Right, let's get on to the last thing because we've got a big old mailbox that Chris is going to look after.
Sorry, Cheryl saying, I had an argument with my friend about the mango whip. She said, it's pineapple on the board. I said, I know, but it's a secret one. It's not on the board. It is on the board, but just nearer the actual till. And then she showed her the video, but it has gone.
Oh, no. Were you shamed by the time you got to the till then?
Hugh from 37... Who? Hugh from 37 who says
Mark Riley seems a little upset as well because we're drinking from cans.
Yeah, it's because Chris doesn't have the jingle. It's as simple as that.
That is not true. I can play you the jingle right
I thought
now.
You said you didn't have it.
No, I do. You don't have the tiki cup. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, because it's not like you just forgot to pack a jingle in your pocket.
Can I request a different jingle?
You can.
Can you
Is it the one I've already played once?
Yes.
Yeah. Now?
Right. Yes, please.
Okay. Shh.
Oh, you must be grumpy.
Who's grumpy?
We have a legitimate grumpy subject this week from Twitter, and that is these 30th anniversary Loungeflies, which are lovely. They're absolutely lovely. They're very similar to our backdrop. They've got this kind of deep blue colour and the iridescent sparkles and sequins. Very nice.
Our backdrop that I took from the Disneyland Paris.
Yes. I mean, I'm not saying it's a coincidence. I'm just using it to illustrate
we
things.
can't claim ownership of
No,
backdrop.
absolutely not. They were released with a price tag of €100. But the thing is, you could quite clearly see that these were sticky stickers that had been stuck on over a price tag of €80. Now, that is a 25% increase in price, presumably on some kind of whim. I mean, you can argue fuel prices or supply chains, or I'm sure they've got an argument for it, but you can imagine that the fan community just feels a little bit
Aggrieved.
You'd
be
taken
gutted.
advantage of.
You'd be gutted
I
if your £80 liked it, wouldn't you?
Thing is, I do, well, €80.
Same
Still,
thing
€80.
these days.
Yeah, there's not a lot in it.
Honestly, I like my Loungefly bags. €80 like Loungefly bags. I don't €100 like Loungefly bags.
Interesting.
That is literally the tipping point for me. The Encanto one that I'm still not allowed because I haven't reached my target weight. That's at my friend's house. It was £75, I think, which would be about, not dissimilar.
No.
And I just wouldn't. That's the most I would spend. All of the Loungeflies would need to be on sale for me to do it. So what I'm saying is I just think they've done that typically Disney thing where they've just gone too far with the price. Same as, with the Premier Access and the Genie Plus and all this. It's how much are people willing to spend, right, that much, put another €20 on it. That's what it feels like.
Someone will buy it.
Exactly. And the thing is, that brings me on to the second you must be grumpy, and I think people have already brought it up in the chat, is there were pictures of people going out with those big Parks bags that probably had 5 Loungeflies in each one, and they'll probably been carrying 6, 3 on each arm.
Yeah.
So they were going out with 30 or more of these Disney Loungeflies to then sell on eBay for an even bigger price. And it raises the question, why can no one stop them doing that? I mean,
they can. They just put a limit on.
Well,
in the
yeah.
shop, surely.
Why don't they then?
Why don't they?
I don't know.
I think in
They limit how many days. Oh, they have been limiting how many days annual pass holders can go at once. So why the hell can't they limit how many Loungefly bags you can buy?
Disney World have been revoking people's annual passes if they catch them selling things on eBay, but there is a limit in shops, and you can appreciate if it's pins, they can go and get 5 from one shop, 5 from another, 5 from another, and people won't find out. But how are they getting out of the park?
Do you know what though?
Carrying that merchandise.
The kind of person that does that is the kind of person that isn't like...
They don't care.
They're not ashamed, because like if I was doing it, I'd be so ashamed. I'd be trying to hide it, and they walk out brazen with the little trolleys here. People are saying little trucks full of them.
Yeah.
And you'd be mortified if anyone saw you, wouldn't you? But then you wouldn't be doing it in the first place. You know what I mean? So it's a certain type of person.
Let's also point out that 30 times 100 is 3,000 euros. They've just gone and spent there. Maybe that's why Disney don't care. Although they're not.
But then they're going to go and resell those at a greater price as well.
It's
if they can manage to make gig tickets non-transferable and football and theatre tickets and things,
yeah.
It just seems ridiculous. You can't do anything about this.
It does.
They just choose not to.
And if they sell out of this limited edition merchandise, it's just not fair. Oh,
Dunn Family's just looked on eBay, £293.51 to buy.
Bargain. Aye, £293.51 like that bag.
You see, people argue there's the other side of it. There is personal shoppers. People get in contact with certain annual pass holders and say, will you go and get me one of these Loungeflies? And they make a business out of doing that. Mm-hmm. If it's going on eBay, that's not what's happening.
People are saying they were limited to 5 per transaction, and then just going and getting another 5.
Multiple
or,
shops. 2
per card, as with the Figment buckets. So that was Jade said that, and then Claire's saying it was 2 per card, and people just using different cards.
But I mean, okay, so they must have left the friend outside the shop with the other bags, because if they come in with all these bags on their arm and then buy another 5, the cat's out of the bag. And like I say, how do they get out of the turnstiles?
The Loungefly's in the bag.
But if they've got a ticket and they're staying somewhere, they just keep going in and out, can't they, as well, if they wanted to? But yeah, you're right.
Oh, the people on Twitter weren't doing that. They were just...
The only bags I'm seeing here are scumbags.
If you're one of those people and you listen who does this, could you explain it to us?
Yeah.
And
just give us a bit of a clue about what...
Yeah.
I mean, apart from money, obviously.
In the unlikely event you're buying them for an orphanage of Loungefly-loving children, then fair enough.
Yeah.
But it's very unlikely.
But also, we talked earlier on about how we feel like we're creating a community and we're making friendships in this podcast. And if you are listening and you are one of those people, please stop listening. We don't want you in our community.
Oh, you know what?
There's
probably someone listening who's done that.
Do you think they're hanging their head in shame?
And
you
know what you should do? You should stop looking at us now on the screen and go look in a mirror.
Take
go
a good
look
look
in
at
a
yourself in the mirror.
And you know what you'd say? You'd probably say mirror, mirror on the wall, because you don't know the quote. That's what you'd say.
Give him the bell.
Yeah, you'd say mirror, mirror on the wall.
That's for the hypothetical you.
And that's not even what she says in Snow White. It's not even what she says. Pretenders.
That has been my most enjoyable rant I think we've ever had.
You get so cross at hypothetical people doing hypothetical things.
I do. I have arguments like in my head. I'm like,
but then he tells me about the arguments that haven't happened.
Yeah.
They're usually quite entertaining arguments.
Well, that sounds good.
At least I'm prepared.
I'd watch that on YouTube. You should have a channel of just that. Just you telling the stories of your arguments that you've had with yourself.
Yeah. Be prepared, as a lion once told me.
Oh. Right, Chris.
Got a scar on his face.
That's
right
all
before he broke his vocal cord.
Oh, yeah.
It's all been a bit much for me, that. So, Chris, I'm handing over to you now. This is your moment to shine.
Oh, and shine I will, Lucy.
As
Shine
a
I will.
mailman.
Right. First up, I've got a new jingle. Audience trip roundup. Do you see what I did there?
I like it, yeah. Simple but effective.
I thought so, yeah. Yeah, loads of you have been getting in touch in various different places because we keep telling you to get in touch in various different places.
But not touch us.
In touch.
Not touch us in
Get in,
various
yes.
different places.
Hugh. Thank you.
Just make that clear.
Oh, my word. So, I've kind of pulled all that stuff together in an audience trip roundup. I'm going to press it again. Audience trip roundup. That's what I just said. But I've got pages and pages of it at the moment, but it's really good. So, first up, I've got a bit of video. I just need to press my buttons and go back to the right place now. I've got a bit of video from Costume Ken, who sent some stuff in. He sent a message earlier in the week saying, hope you're doing well. I've arrived as promised. In fact, it was last week, sorry.
Look at that. This is what we wanted.
This isn't good for the listeners, you saying, look at that.
Okay,
No,
so,
that's true.
so what we're looking at, it's a walkthrough of the hub with the Gardens of Wonder, because we were saying we've only seen stills or very small snippets, and we're getting to see a full walkthrough. Oh, this is making me excited.
So this is looping through, but basically, Costume Ken said, I've got a video of the entrance of the sign as I got into the park at 4:00, and then he said, I'll send you some more things tomorrow. And this is what he sent. Lots of nice bits of the Gardens of Wonder doing their thing, which I think is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite? I've got a favourite already.
Have you?
Everything's spinning.
It's kinetic, isn't it? I
Very,
think
very much so,
It's
yeah.
so kinetic.
that's the difference from previous.
kinetic.
That Dumbo one. That Dumbo
The
one
Dumbo
is my
one is
favourite.
superb. I like, of the ones that I've seen, I really like the Stitch one, but that's not there at the moment. But
Is there a mango whip one?
No, Hugh, there is not a mango
There was
whip.
a yellow
I'm not
one there.
interested.
There was a yellow one there that could be
Well,
a mango whip.
So we've watched that 3 or 4 times now. But there you go. That's from Costume Ken then. Thank you very much, Costume Ken. I apologise that it's taken us 2 weeks to do this, but obviously we weren't together last week, so it wasn't really feasible. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I wasn't actually monitoring the mailbox, which I thought I was. So, yeah. So when I've gone to the mailbox this week, I suddenly discovered lots of emails. We also got an email from Nat, who got in touch with us to give us some advice on improving our subscribers on YouTube, which actually the advice she gave were things that we'd done anyway. So I'm not going to go into those details. But she says she's looking forward to more great content on the channel, and she would like to see more DVC content as she's closing in on her own DVC contract.
Oh, Nat, if you're listening, you need to get in touch and tell me where it's at and how many points and how much you paid, and we can have a good natter about it. But as it happens, I was kind of planning, well, I think I'm going to do a pre-trip little video about our upcoming Walt Disney World trip. But one of the biggest sort of umbrella things about it is that it's our first trip as DVC members, and we're staying at 4 different DVC resorts. So there's going to be a DVC video that kind of accompanies that, about the booking and all that stuff. So yayness. Thank you, Nat.
Just on the pictures from Costume Ken, the video, sorry, Susie's put in the chat that she likes the Briar Rose dancing with the squirrel. That's her favourite. I thought that looked really good as well, I've got to say. Who next then? Kiva next. Kiva's regular in the chat, but she also recently returned from DLP, and she's sent us a trip report and some pictures. So here are some of the pictures. I'm going to read this, and I will just flick through the pictures because they're not entirely relevant to what I'm reading. So I'm going to read your trip report, Kiva. Thank you very much. She says, hey guys, not even sure if you still use this mailbox, but here goes. And I wasn't monitoring it, so it was a good try. My trip was made a million times better with all your tips, news and excitement over the last year. We went for 3 nights and booked and paid for the Santa Fe through a travel agent deal. To our surprise, they had actually booked us into the Cheyenne, which was lovely. That's a decent... Is it an upgrade side step? It's good though, isn't it?
It's a side step. I'd be happy with either, to be honest.
From Santa Fe
to Cheyenne.
Sorry, just burped.
Straight across the back.
I preferred the Cheyenne.
Yeah, me too. Imagine my surprise when I walked in Walt Disney Studios, and on my right there was Goofy hugging people. What?
Gosh.
Quickly jumped on Facebook to see that they'd done away with selfie spots and we could hug characters again. Tears were shed. We ate in Cafe Hyperion, downtown restaurant, amazing, Casey's Corner, and Bistro Chez Remy. The rest of our days were filled with tasty snacks rather than meals, apart from breakfast at the Earl of Sandwich. Yummy. I'm just going to move pictures on. Let's have a look.
Should we just briefly describe that picture, which was some Marvel treats. Now, I'm most intrigued by, there was a picture of Thor's, one of them was Thor's hammer. What's that?
It's a chocolate mousse.
It's a mousse cake with
like a thing sticking out of it.
It looks like a
Twiglet.
matchstick that you get at Christmas. Yeah.
Looks great.
Not a Twiglet.
They all look fantastic. This is where
Macarons.
the DLP shines.
It's a cannoli.
is in their petit fours and like mini desserts in the buffets. That's where they really shine. They might not be good on the snacks around the park, but it's because street food's not a culture, particularly in mainland Europe the way it is elsewhere. But what they do is really good, what's the word? Patisserie.
Yes, they do.
Classy patisserie.
Agreed.
And can I just say, when you mentioned, imagine the excitement when you walk in and there's Goofy hugging on the left. This will never stop getting me when I walk into Disney parks, even on like the 6th day of a 7-day trip like we did last time. You walk in and there's a character meeting at the gazebo, and there's a character meeting on Town Square. Even if we decide not to queue up and get our photos taken, it excites me every single time. I think I'm just walking in with a bit of business. I'm not thinking about anything in particular. Then all of a sudden, it gets me in the chest. It's the most magical thing.
I'm going to carry on then. Let me move on to Max. Look, there's a bit of a hug with Max, bit of play.
He's a good meet, is Max. He's not my favourite character, like, on screen, but he's a really fun meet. He's always a bit wacky.
So Kiva goes on to say, the longest we queued for a ride was Big Thunder Mountain at 40 minutes. The queue times were surprisingly manageable, considering there were French school holidays and it was the start of the 30th. There was a 30th preview day on Saturday, so we managed to catch a daytime show a few times and Disney Delight, both of which were fantastic. I think I'll have Un Monde qui illumine, S'illumine, whichever it is, stuck in my head for the foreseeable. Also managed to grab a quick... Also managed to grab quite a bit of 30th merchandise. How much, Kiva?
So
How many bags did you take home with you?
I've just realised as well, we've been chatting to Kiva for a while now. We're getting to see her face. Her full fizzog, and it's beautiful.
There you go.
Thank you, Kiva. This is lovely.
Including the soap dispenser. She says she got the soap dispenser, her favourite.
Natch.
The park is decorated beautifully. She then said, to top all this off, my boyfriend got down on one knee and asked me to marry him, and a lovely photopass photographer captured the most beautiful photos.
Oh!
You guys! That's Friends reference number 3. Congratulations.
Huge congratulations.
Is lovely.
And
look at that.
And Kiva, just to let you know, if you hadn't sent this trip report in, your fiance actually messaged as the show was starting to ask us to mention this today. So he'd already got on that as well. How good is that?
Oh,
he's a keeper.
Massive congratulations to you, Kiva.
A Disney fan, and he understands your Disney fanness, he understands.
He's a keeper, and you're a Kiva.
Where are you going with this?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay.
Oh my word!
I love it. As soon as you've set a date, let us know, won't you? Not that we're going to crash it.
Yeah.
That wasn't why I asked. I realised how creepy that sounded.
It feels like blind date. We'll have to get a hat.
I like to kind of I like to know.
Dated you.
Very dated
And
me. Very much dated
got
me.
the
Yeah.
joke. Yeah.
She finishes by saying, I've been home for 10 hours and I'm already looking to book another trip. Thanks so much for all your tips again. All my love, Kiva.
Honeymoon.
Well, that's it. That reminds me of the tip, how'd you get over the Disney blues? Because it's real when you get home from any Disney trip. The fact that well, we get the Disney blues going into the train station at Disneyland Paris because all of a sudden everything is so grey and we can't bear with it. And how do you get over it? You book another Disney trip.
Absolutely right.
That's the
Every time.
Only correct way. It's terrible.
I should just say on Costume Ken's videos, by the way, Magical by Sarah sent us through some videos of the entrance moving bits, all individual ones through Instagram, and I couldn't download them, so I wasn't able to share them, unfortunately, Sarah. But I just want to say thank you to you as well for sending those in yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. Are they on her account as well? Or?
No, they were private messages. So okay. Yeah. Unfortunately not. I'm going to move on then. Shall I move on?
Do.
Cheryl, it's your turn now. I said we were going to talk about mango whips and the lack thereof. So Cheryl's been sending updates to us throughout her trip at DLP. Week before last, I think it was. She was sending so many updates and things. I haven't got any of your pictures and things on here, Cheryl, but I have used your trip report, so I'm going to do a bit of talking now like I have been doing, but no visuals this time.
There's a story old bear.
Here we go.
We'll all gather round.
We got the Eurostar to Paris as the direct train was cancelled. The R&R is pretty easy to use and would definitely recommend from Paris. It's a switch at one station, then direct to Disney, which is the end of the line. The 30th merch was all in one shop, so there was a huge queue, but I think they've started selling things in the Emporium now, so this could change to more shops, hopefully.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
just
sorry, go
I'm,
on,
I'm just acting out
No, you
for a bit of
looking interested.
visual interest. For
I
the,
have.
for,
Excellent.
for the
Can I
viewers.
just
Yeah.
interrupt you for 1 second? I am really, really interested in that, Cheryl, because we have now done pretty much every way of getting to there, including trains, planes, and automobiles. And we've done change at Lille, we've done direct Eurostar, but I've looked at going into Paris and out again, and it can be a lot cheaper, but I just thought it was unfeasible and faffy. And for you to say that it was dead easy and okay, I'm really interested in that, because that could be a big option for our family, because we can only go often if we go cheap. You know what I mean? It's like once every 5 years, or we make it cheaper. And so we need these tips. Thank you, Cheryl.
What does she say next? The Meet Mickey was a 2-hour queue and still only a selfie with him on stage. So not in a separate room with a professional photographer. So she was disappointed, and he was in his normal outfit. We tried to get a mango whip, but the little hatch wasn't open when we went. We also tried... Hugh, you're very distracting, Hugh.
I'll do it back here.
Just for listeners, Hugh's shaking his fist and smiling and basically reacting to everything.
Yeah, it's a bit of visual interest.
We also tried to get a 30th ice cream with the little Donald feet, but that was closed when we passed 2. The opening times for some of the food stalls are random. We've said this before, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it seems only luck if you can catch them. Unless there are some opening times that we missed somewhere, it's best just to keep trying, as I've seen other people with ice cream, so they were open at some point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a really sick game they play with
They
us.
saw you coming, Cheryl.
They don't stick to meal times or want times or busy times or anything. So it's just like they wait till you're really hungry and tetchy and then just shut. And then they'll open again like hours later when you've already killed your husband and buried him under the patio. And, you know, it's, come on, work with us here, Disneyland Paris, work with us.
Cheryl goes on to say, the atmosphere was brilliant, and even though it was busy in areas, it didn't feel like the queues were... It didn't feel like it. And the queues were reasonable. We just moved to another ride if it was too long for us.
Yeah.
Standard.
That's what we do. Yeah.
The new little parade was so good. The song is infectious and gets you dancing along. It's on a few times a day as well, so I definitely recommend going to see it and watch it near the castle. The Earl of Sandwich breakfast was delicious. This is a good tip, this. The Earl of Sandwich breakfast was delicious. €6.95, American breakfast it's called. It's like a large but better tasting egg and bacon McMuffin with coffee. We'd have these while walking into the park for magic hours. You can also pre-order them from their app, which I was told could save time. Mm-hmm. That's pretty decent. She said that they stayed at Newport Bay, which they loved, and the access to the park was super quick, but they still love Santa Fe for the theming and would only stay there again if they had a good deal. Although the pool was a nice extra after a busy day in the park, if you can fit it in. We fitted it in when we stayed at Newport Bay. It was good. It's a nice pool, quite peaceful as well. The drones appeared before and after the illuminations. Now they don't now, do they? They've combined the two shows together at the beginning, I think. Haven't
Yes,
they?
and they've added another extra little...
An extra blah, 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 blah.
An extra... Blah, 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 blah. Just for people who are listening, not watching, you know the old... If you're a kid of the 90s, you know the VHS ident well, where the Tinkerbell flies over the castle and you get that arc of glitter. Mm-hmm. They've now added a bit in the drone show where they make that arc over the castle, and it looks so exciting.
We stood to the side near Buzz, so the illusion of the drones next to the castle didn't quite work from our view. So I'd try and get more central to the castle for the better view on how they were designed to look alongside the castle. So that's a good tip as well. Think about where you're standing. We had an amazing time, and everyone looked like they were having fun and enjoying themselves. Glad to be back at the park. Florida next. And then she finished by saying, I almost forgot, 2 out of 5 of us tested positive for COVID when we got back, so it's still very much about just lucky we didn't have to test to get home. And then she messaged later to say, actually, it's 4 out of 5 now.
Right. This needs talking about because our good friend Mercedes from Chat Disney, I say good friend, we've never met her. We've done various shows and collabs.
We've had a
and
Zoom
stuff.
call with
her.
her.
Yeah, we've done that kind. We've had a few.
That counts as meeting these days.
I think so, yeah. But she's just had her hen do, congratulations Mercedes, at Disneyland Paris, and 16 of them went. And at last count, I think that 7 had tested positive. And thing is, this kind of flicked a switch in my brain, because I'm like everyone else worried about the transport and do we have to test, do we not have to test? Can you imagine getting to the train station and getting a positive test? Oh good, we don't have to do it anymore, all that kind of thing. But it never really occurred to me that you actually get ill from it. Do you know what I mean? It's like we go to this crowded place with lots of dirty, horrible people. Not you guys listening. You're lovely and clean, but there will inevitably be some dirty, horrible people there. And then you come back and you've picked it up, and that's worrying. You know,
I remember before all this, people were saying Disney flu is a thing. You know, I always get ill when I come back, so it was already a thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's a very specific, testable, diagnosable thing now.
There you are.
Take your hand gel,
Speedy
people.
recovery to all of you. Hope you're all right.
Absolutely.
And I hope chocolate doesn't taste awful like it does for me still.
Do you know what?
Diet Pepsi for me now. I think I said this last week, didn't I?
Yeah. We had it in October, and I just had to ask Chris when he arrived, does our kitchen smell weird? Because I still get a very strange food smell. That
I said no because I'm really polite.
Does it? Oh no, I'm not gonna air my stress because I just don't think I've got my smell back properly.
Do you know, this is one of the good things about going on holiday to Walt Disney World for 2 weeks is, you know, when you come back from holiday and you can smell what your house smells like to other people because you've not smelled it for a while, so you're not used to it, and you come in and you go, oh, this must be what Chris smells every week.
Oh no, that's not a nice thought.
Everyone's house has got a weird.
Yeah, your house doesn't particularly smell of anything bad.
Other people,
so that's good, isn't it?
But it just smells of something. Other people's house always smells like soup and washing up powder to me. Washing powder and soup.
Who? What does?
Everyone else's house, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Or dogs, if they've got dogs.
I went round a friend's house with a toddler the other day, and she greeted us with, "Sorry for the smell of wee."
Oh, that's
but he's
fine.
just a little boy learning to use the toilet, that's all.
I've got one more then.
Mm-hmm.
This is a video of the drones from the Illuminations pre-show sent in by Laura's girlfriend's mum. No, Lucas's girlfriend's mum, Laura. Because she's called Laura. Here we go. So this is a bit of video that'll loop as well.
Wow.
Look at that.
They from bottom to top, they just lit up the 30th logo, and it's just hugging the castle.
And one of the ears moves out, I
They're
think, in a
so
second.
still. It's hard to think that they're hovering in place.
Yeah.
They look so static.
They're cool, aren't they? Really, really cool. What was I going to say? She's bought bits and bats of merchandise. In fact, she's picked up some merchandise for us that we might use in a giveaway at some point. Pin badges and badges, I think, is what we've got. Not just a couple of little bits. And she also bought, I've seen a photo of it, she bought a 30th anniversary wine glass, but it's iridescent. So when the wine's in it, it's got like iridescence to it, which is kind of cool.
Is it cool or is it a little off-putting?
I'm going to say it's cool just in case she's watching.
Cheryl says, and don't forget, Chris, I met Sam for God too.
Oh, I did forget Cheryl. Yes, Cheryl met Sam for God.
Yay!
Networking.
Networking.
Also, Cheryl's been putting in the chat that she's done a video for this, and she'll put it on her YouTube channel, I believe, if I'm reading it all correctly. And that I believe that her channel name is just Cheryl Yates.
Yes.
So, is it?
Just go find Cheryl.
Well, she said that earlier in the chat.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Funnily enough.
So go subscribe to Cheryl Yates.
That was literally what I just said.
What?
Cheryl's been saying in the chat that
sorry.
she's done a video for it, and it's on her YouTube channel, and it's called Cheryl Yates. To which you said,
I missed-
well, she said that in the chat.
No. I mean, she said that her channel name is Cheryl Yates, and I know you said that as well, but bloody hell, Chris.
Just all our lovely people who we love to interact with and stuff, do follow each other as well, because we've got a lot of people with some really good social media accounts or YouTube accounts or who do other podcasts and stuff. Follow them as well. It's really hard to keep track right now, but we keep mentioning them. Whenever we mention them, keep up with them as well.
Speaking of mentioning people, Jenny, who's in the chat for the first time today, Jenny messaged earlier with some questions. So, do you fancy answering some questions?
We will do our best.
I think they're fairly straightforward, but I thought it was worth saving them just in case other people wanted to know the answers to them rather than me just replying. So, Jenny says, "Hello, I've just discovered your podcast, YouTube channel, and love them. I went to DLP for my hen do in 2010, and after 12-year gap, we're taking our two boys in May half term. They have no idea. Shh. We're doing the big reveal on Easter Sunday. I don't know if we can ask questions for you to answer on the podcast, but even though I've watched loads of videos, etc., I'm still not sure about this. We're driving there and staying at Newport Bay. So, do we drive to the hotel Do they have their own car park, or do we have to park in the general car park and walk to Newport Bay?
They have their own car park. And, I haven't stayed at Newport Bay, but funnily enough, I've walked through the car park because I got lost looking for the registration place for Run Disney. That's a whole different conversation. But yeah, they have their own car park, and you can have valet parking or self-park, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Valet park is included
if you've got the, I was going to say Castle Club, that's not what it's called. The Compass Club.
Compass Club,
if you stay in Compass Club, drive in and drive up to the entrance in the car. Drive up to the entrance of the hotel in the car park because they will park it for you. If you're not, then when you get to the gate, they'll just tell you where to go. And if you're not supposed to be there, they'll tell you where to go as well. Next question was
Compass Club, pointing you in the right direction.
Oh, very good.
Well, it should be that, shouldn't it? Is that right?
oh yeah, that's kind of good. Oh,
Did they use anything like that?
No.
No.
Can we just walk into the park for magic hours from the hotel? It looks so open plan, I can't picture it being cordoned off. So yes, you just when you get to the entrance of the park, you need to scan your tickets scan your card as you go through the gates. Basically, That's it.
Yeah, you go via
there'll be security as well, won't there?
Yeah, you go through security on your way into the village, don't you?
Yeah.
And then once you're into the village, you can just walk straight down,
Just,
and then it's turnstiles as usual. And
bags in a conveyor belt, X-ray type thing.
You'll have to show your, I think they call it a magic pass. It's basically your room key. Basically your room key, but the magic pass that says you're a hotel guest to get in for the early magic hours. And make sure you get in the right queue because there'll be queue for day guests if they're already forming, and then there'll be a faster queue. You can just go straight in.
Good. Next question was, is there any way of knowing where certain characters are or hang out? We are huge Baloo and Tigger fans in particular, so desperate to cuddle those two.
Yes, on your app, there's 5 options. When you go on the map bit, there's 5 options at the bottom, and it's rides, dining. I'm looking at my app right now.
Bogs.
Yeah, so there's 5 little icons: rides, dining, entertainment, shopping, and then there's a Mickey head, and that's the characters. And if you put on Mickey head, I'm doing it right this minute, lots of little spots turn up on the map, and then you click on the spots and it tells you who's meeting at that spot and the hours that they're meeting. Baloo kind of goes like behind Colonel Hathy, between Adventureland and Frontierland. Who was the other one she said she liked?
Tigger.
Tigger can be all over the place, but we've seen him recently behind the old mill, which is,
windmill.
Let me see if he's still there.
Next to the old windmill.
It is.
Yeah.
Look, that's where Tigger is. So between Small World and the path that takes you to Casey Jr., there's like a windmill that's a snack counter.
Used to be a ride.
And there's a place behind there, and that's a good one because it's quite quiet because people don't see it. That was
it's
in my
tucked away,
tips
isn't it?
video.
It was, yeah, that's right.
No queue when we went.
Yeah. In fact,
Recently.
the times we've been since the pandemic, since it's been social distanced, I've jumped in there 3 times now and just gone, oh look, Tigger, boom, photo, no queue.
There'll also be character meets in your hotel every day as well, and it'll alternate. I think in Newport Bay, it's usually one of the Fab Five, isn't it?
I think
it tends to be Donald, Mickey, or Pluto. I think
they all tend to be Fab Five, but
apart from Marvel,
apart from the Marvel Hotel, and well, when we've seen them at Cheyenne, it has been the Fab Five, but in cowboy outfits. But I also think that Woody and Jessie meet at the Cheyenne as well. But Newport Bay, yeah, it'll be one of the Fab Five.
Here's a slightly different question. Is it plausible? The answer to this is yes, by the way. Is it plausible to get to the Eiffel Tower from Disney? And have you ever done that?
I've never done that.
But there's a train station there that takes you into Paris, so it's really easy. And it's dead straightforward.
Like Cheryl said, the RER is your local trains.
Yeah.
I don't know what the equivalent is where you are in the UK. To us, it's the Transpennine Express. So basically, the RER is the Transpennine Express in our language. In our Yorkshire language, that's what it is. Don't know how to though, because why would you leave Disneyland Paris? Unless you had to, because you'd run out of money and you needed to go home. I
think it's a fair question. Very fair question. And that's what everybody said to us this week. How good is that though?
That was a lot.
It was an awful lot, and we want more. It's great, isn't it? It's great to have that kind of involvement. So if you've got bits of videos, if you've got photos, if you want to do a little trip report, if you've got questions, all that stuff, then you can email it to mailbox@37disneystreet.co.uk, and I do monitor that inbox now, so I will get those messages. You can contact us on Instagram, you can contact us on Facebook and on Twitter. You can write in the comments on these shows. Semaphore, smoke signals,
whisper it in our ear when we're sleeping.
Yeah, any of that stuff, really. Any of it.
Hugh has got a shout out to do, don't you, Hugh?
Apparently.
Hey.
Who was it?
So Jade.
It's Jade and Carrie.
Yeah.
And are they there now? No,
they're on their way.
They're on the way.
They're staying in a hotel.
Yeah,
they're going at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
They're in a hotel in London, getting ready to get on the Eurostar tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
and they've requested. So Jade's a new patron pal, isn't she?
She is a new patron, Disney Street Patreon pal.
She's requested a Mickey Mouse shout out, which is something I like to do. So I'm going to say, gosh, thanks, Jade, and I hope you and Carrie have a great time on the megabus from Hull. Gosh, hot dog. That's it. It's all about the megabus for me because I like the idea of Mickey Mouse saying megabus.
Hugh and I went to university.
Enjoy the AP party. This is manic, awful, scary Mickey.
Hugh and I went to university in Hull, so between us we lived there for 4 years.
I dressed up as Mickey Mouse in Hull.
Yes. Oh, it was a terrifying Mickey
Halloween.
Mouse. He was.
I was on the radio. Someone from the radio found me in a takeaway and said, "God, can you do when you realise how you'll just do anything for money?" And he said, "Oh, they've agreed to get you some free chips if you give us a shout out for this radio station."
This is what it is to be a student.
So I had to go. Oh, gosh, I listened to whatever radio station it was in Hull. And and the guy said it was an awful impression, and I thought, it's not great, but it's not that awful. And I got some free chips.
Thing is, you were very slight when you were in your late
9.5 stone.
Yeah, late teens, early 20s, and if you're visualising him wearing a big fluffy head kind of suit,
I got a picture.
No, it was black tights,
Yeah.
and a black tight polo neck leotard type thing with some red shorts.
I'll show this on the screen, but I will tweet it.
So it was like if Mickey Mouse had survived Auschwitz.
I'll tweet it under the hashtag 37 Disney.
Oh my god.
37 Disney Street Mickey. Oh no, I'm no.
And please make this go viral, guys. I haven't seen this photograph. I haven't seen that photograph in like 18 years.
That is truly awful.
I got the trousers and everything.
Yeah.
I got a swim cap and I attached cardboard ears to it. And I happened to have 2 giant McDonald's Mickey Mouse gloves from something. Awful.
Great, well done.
Oh, there's another picture of me waving.
Oh, if you're listening, not watching, please check out this hashtag. It's an experience.
37, this is on Twitter. 37 Disney Street Mickey. I'll tweet that now.
That's the Hugh I met and fell in love with. Not just like that, but that was back in those days. Right, just before we go, then we've got like 6 minutes on our regular.
Well, we're going to finish early because we've got Turning Red to do.
That never happens. Give the people what they want.
Okay.
Just a very quick kind of trip update with the Walt Disney World thing.
Oh, yeah. And
the more I talk about it and think about it, I do think I'm going to do a bit of a sit in a chat video on this sometime this week. But we're now at the 60-day mark. And I've been protecting my little heart a bit with this one because if you're keeping count, I think we've had 5 cancelled. This is the 6th one booked or something like that. Even I'm not keeping count now. So I just I booked it and then just left it hanging there without getting too excited. Well, now we've started booking our park passes. We've booked the hotel at the airport yesterday. We booked the hotel parking. We've got the transfers booked. So it's all coming together a bit more. So I'm probably going to talk about that on a video. But with dining, because we're doing a split stay, unlike usual, where you, on the first day of your holiday at the 60-day mark, you can book the full 10 days you can book. We could only book the first 2 days. But we want to start, we're staying in the Contemporary, which is home to Chef Mickey. And we asked Bonnie, and she wanted to start her holiday with Chef Mickey. So I tried to get Chef Mickey for the first day and failed. I failed. So I am a tenacious person, and I will be checking the website.
Sorry, I'm stood in front of a massive Minority Report poster that'll be in Russell's bedroom
Yeah.
because he loved Tom Cruise.
Hugh, we're kind of doing a show.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we,
go on.
we've got a thing going on here. I'm talking into a microphone. But I'm tenacious, so I'm gonna check the app every single blooming day. I also use touring plans for dining alerts, so they'll tell me as soon as it becomes available, and I will get Chef Mickey's for my child. God damn it! And the other one we managed to get, because the second day is going to be our Star Wars day. We're going to Hollywood Studios, but we're going to bypass Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We're going to bypass Slinky Dog. We're just going to have a Star Wars day where we spend all day in Batu. So we got Olga's Cantina for that
nice.
day. So for like mid-morning. So all we need to do now is be successful in getting a lightning lane for Rise of the Resistance, and it'll be happy days.
Awesome.
So that's an update on that. Because people were asking in the chat about the WDW.
Claire's going in 12 days.
I know,
How good is
Claire. That's so exciting. I really hope you don't test positive.
Well, you've said it
I
now.
know. I wanted to stop myself saying that halfway through because I thought I'm going to jinx her with this. But it's a big worry for everyone, isn't it? So, good luck, Claire. Have an amazing time. Come back and tell me what it's like. And I hope it's not too busy for you.
There we go.
She's positive it will happen, though, and she's so excited. That's
Yeah.
good to hear. Any more business?
Any more business?
No.
I put a video out this week
You did?
on little hidden spots in Disneyland Paris.
Mm.
Watch that. I'm quite pleased of some of the tips that are in there, and I think they're not your regular Disney tips. So you might want to watch that.
I enjoyed it.
And all those people getting ready to go tomorrow, or they're already there, or they're on an aeroplane for crying out loud. Watch my tip video.
What
You
if
might
that
learn
video means
something.
that when we go to those places, they're all busy?
It's not really about busyness. It's about shortcuts and things.
We'll
like
find
that.
new shortcuts and new
Better ones.
quieter places.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Lauren. Lauren likes my video, everyone. Lauren liked it. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, excellent.
So we're gonna do Turning Red. We're reviewing Turning Red tonight.
Oh, yeah, we are.
So we need to get on. So you can check that out. When can they check that out, Chris?
Well, usually I put it up as quick as I can, so probably tomorrow at some point on the podcast, and I'll put it up on the YouTube thing shortly afterwards. We do put all the classics on YouTube. They don't get as many watches because I think most people listen to it on the podcast, but it is there if you prefer to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
However you like to consume it, it's entirely up to you.
We don't judge.
No.
Well, we do.
I just
if you buy just too many Loungefly bags.
Chris's finger is hovering over the outro.
Oh no,
here.
it's only because so I hover my finger over the outro button because if I don't and Lucy suddenly says goodbye, then we have a very long time where we have to stand there going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I try and time it by when she starts to speak, and then hopefully the music is a bit like the Oscars and it shuts her up.
I just wanted to say we can see the chat going here, and Hugh does try and keep in touch with it. But sometimes when we're talking about quite a long subject, I see 5 or 6 other really good comments and things going on in the chat, and we can't call them all out. And it's just lovely that it's getting so busy and so rich in that area of the community. And I'm glad that you're all interacting with each other. But I'm really sorry that we don't get a chance to say hi to everyone. I've even seen people saying they're watching for the first time today, and we haven't had a chance to say hi.
It's another
So
good
thank
reason to
you
get
so
in
much.
touch.
It
To get in touch separately from it. We try and keep tabs on the chat as we go through, as you've probably noticed today. But sometimes we can't quite get everything. So if you've got questions, if you've got all that stuff that I said before, just remember take it back 5 minutes and that bit that I said about where you could get in touch and stuff.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
And then do it.
Okay, thank you all very much for listening. This has been The Boys. I've been Lucy. Goodbye.
See you later.
Good work with that button, Chris.